Over the years, viewers have seen numerous arguments, fights, and awkward scenarios on 90 Day Fiancé. While some couples have been successful in achieving their happily ever after, others ended up hating each other and often found themselves in intensely heated arguments. Here are the top 7 ridiculous fights on 90 Day Fiancé. Number 7. Eric's trashy apartment. After leaving her luxurious life in Indonesia behind, Layla flew all the way to the US, only to find out that her soon-to-be fiancé Eric lived in a lower-than-average, messy apartment. Consequently, she demands Tasha to move out of Eric's apartment and also orders him to get his life together since he was extremely broke. At last, during an argument, she finally admits that she feels like she was forcing herself to marry Eric despite knowing that he didn't deserve her, just so she could pursue her medical career in the US. Number 6. Rachel vs. Angela. In Season 2 of 90 Day Fiancé, during a tell-all episode, the participants had a brief discussion about Darcy's relationship. Rachel bluntly pointed out that Darcy is habitual of playing the blame game, which Darcy admitted was true. However, Angela seemed offended by Rachel's statement and soon began lashing back at her, saying that she doesn't know much about Darcy's relationship dynamics. Within a few seconds, a fierce argument started between Rachel and Angela, which was stopped by the other cast members until furious Angela left the set. Number 5. Larissa vs. Colt's family. After their first conversation online, Larissa and Colt spent a memorable time together, first in Mexico and then in Brazil. However, when she moved to Las Vegas with Colt and his family, things started taking the wrong turn. Due to numerous fights and ill-mannered interactions between Larissa and Colt's family members, the couple's relationship started to get strained. One particularly memorable and explosive argument occurred during a family barbecue, which was supposed to bring Colt's family and Larissa together, but instead ended up in Colt's cousin and Larissa yelling at each other. Even though Colt and Larissa did get married, the tie was broken after a few months when the couple's issues began resurfacing. Number 4. Stephanie and Erica's breakup. One of the first couples consisting of 2 ladies on the show, Stephanie and Erica, initiated their relationship with an exciting start. Since it was a long-distance relationship, due to Stephanie being in the US and Erica residing in Australia, they began talking online and instantly saw that they were quite fond of each other. However, it turns out the reality was rather grim. When Stephanie flew all the way to Australia to meet her partner, several issues started to arise. From lack of honest communication to trust issues, the couple realized that they weren't compatible after all. Unfortunately, it didn't end up such good terms when Stephanie finally broke up with Erica during an intense fight that was quite shocking for the viewers, to say the least. Number 3. Jesse's threat. Perhaps one of those couples on the show who had an evident tumultuous relationship, Darcy and Jesse were simply toxic from the start. Then, 24, Jesse was prominently the uncooperative one in the relationship and was habitual of blaming everything on Darcy. The two would bicker almost all the time, even during a family dinner with Darcy's children, when Jesse threatened to call the cops. The couple's almost 20-year age difference was just the tiniest of issues the couple faced overall. Unsurprisingly, they couldn't last. Number 2. Fernanda and Jonathan's fight after the club. During a 2018 episode from 90 Day Fiancé, then 19-year-old Mexico native Fernanda found Jonathan, then 32, dancing with another woman in the club, just 65 days before their wedding. As Jonathan attempts to explain himself, his fiancée storms out angrily, making it obvious that she wasn't willing to listen to him. "Do you want to get married with me?" Fernanda asks him, to which Jonathan politely replies, "Of course I do." Fernanda then yells at him, "Well, show me, because I don't feel that." As Jonathan tries to reassure her, she abruptly pushes him away and snaps at him again, saying, "Don't touch me." Her reaction was so explosive that the cops even stopped by to make sure everything was alright. Later on, Jonathan talked about how he wished his fiancée would have handled the situation more maturely, and says that perhaps his friends were right about how the massive age gap between the couple would eventually stir problems. Number 1. Danielle throws the folder at Mohammed. One of the most problematic and loathed couples on the show, Danielle and Mohammed, met and got married in Season 2. Although this toxic pair has been in numerous fights throughout their journey, The one where Danielle literally throws things at Muhammad beats every other argument. After their breakup, Danielle decides to arrive at Muhammad's Miami Beach home in an attempt to confront him. Consequently, he orders her to leave by saying, "You are not welcome here." But as soon as Muhammad walks away from the unfinished conversation, Danielle follows him, boiling in anger, and throws a folder at him that consists of paperwork and documented proof against Muhammad. She threatens to get him deported, and at last Muhammad is compelled to call the cops to get Danielle under control. Although fans have always loved the drama and intriguing details regarding relationships on 90 Day Fiancé, these ridiculous fights took things way too far.